I hope that you subscribe, like, comment for sure. I just want some activity and engagement around here. That'd be awesome. Before we get into this, let's just appreciate this hilarious shirt real quick. It's probably the best thing I own. Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to my channel. It's been a hot minute. Sorry about that. I'm really struggling to try to figure out what it is that I want to post here. I mean, I would really love to post writing vlogs because I really love watching other people's writing vlogs, but I'm concerned that because pretty much nobody knows who I am, I will just be posting them for posterity instead of people actually getting to watch or enjoy them because they don't know who I am, so they probably don't care. So I don't really know what to post. I'm kind of at a loss for what to be posting. So I figured I would do a little bit of research and found out about the Authortube Newbie Tag. And I'm unsure of the origins of this, but I did find the questions on iWriterly.com, and I do believe she is a YouTuber here on Authortube. So I will find and link her information below. She says on here that this was originally created by my girl, Jenna Strady. Hey Jenna, what's up? So I guess I'll try to stop being so awkward and just hop right into these questions. How about it? So question 1 is, how did you find out about Authortube? I kind of covered this in my introductory who am I video thingamajig, but I accidentally stumbled upon it when I was bound determined to participate in NaNoWriMo 2018. September into October is kind of when I started looking into writing related videos on YouTube and first discovered Danny Darling. She had some NaNoWriMo vlogs, and from there I found Natalia Lee, Brooke Passmore, Jenna Moresi, Alexa Dunn, who else? I don't want to forget anybody. Bethany Atazada, Brittany Wang, Mandy Lynn, there's so many. But yeah, it just kind of was like you can't really discover the origin because it just became this snowball going down the hill, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but I do know for sure the very first Authortube related video I did watch was by Danny Darling. So thank you, Danny Darling. I don't know if you're watching, probably not, but if you are, what's up, girl? Question number 2 is, what genres do you write in? I write in young adult. That's the main genre that I write in, but to break that down, I write in paranormal and spiritual. And I realize spiritual isn't really a genre, so to speak, but I'm making it one because with the Great Awakening upon us, the Golden Age, the Age of Aquarius, whatever you want to call it, people are raising their consciousness and their vibration, and there isn't a lot of high vibe young adult fiction out there, if any. I don't really know. I haven't found one that I can point to or link to at all. So I'm going to be writing that in hopes that it will help somebody, because I know when I was a teenager going through my spiritual awakening for the first time, it sucked. It sucked really bad, and I church hopped like a hopscotch master looking to fit in somewhere, and nothing really resonated 100%. I felt like a sinner. I felt dirty. I felt like I wasn't worthy, and I just had nowhere to turn. And I did grow up with a very spiritual mother, which was my saving grace, because without her, I don't know how I would have survived my teenage years and into my 20s, because she was a rock for me. She's beautiful, beautiful soul. But as far as churches and a fellowship and a community of like-minded individuals, I didn't have that until well after I turned 30. So any guesses how old I am? And if you know, do not tell. But yeah, I'm rambling. So yeah, young adult, paranormal, spiritual, and probably into supernatural, I guess you could call it. Bits of sci-fi, I guess, but I'm not a sci-fi writer or a fantasy writer per se, but yeah. I don't know, I'm awkward as heck. Sorry about that. Question number 3 is, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? I guess category, not genre, would be young adult. So yeah, young adult is the preferred category. My preferred writing tense and point of view is, I've been writing first person past tense for the last 3 years, and I love it. I haven't written anything present tense for quite a long time. It's probably been 12, 15 years, so I'm kind of out of practice with that. And I used to exclusively write in third person, but with my current work in progress that is a trilogy, my main character, the best way to get into her head with this massive spiritual awakening and all these crazy things she's going through was to put this story in first person. So that's what I've been doing. Question number 4, are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? You know, I run the gamut from complete pantser to complete plotter, and right now I'm somewhere right down the middle, because when I start writing a scene, a lot of times, even though I have my handy dandy outline, my story structure, character arc, all that just in this awesome binder, it's not in here, but I post it on Instagram once in a while. I have it all laid out down to the letter, but a lot of times when I start writing, it's like my main character, Jackie, she just takes over, and the other characters take over, and the plot itself takes over, and it's really evolved over time. And so yeah, I would consider myself a plantser, but I do like to have that foundation of an outline, or at least a plot structure of sorts with my main beats figured out before I sit down to write. And I actually spent about 2.5 years doing just that without writing, because I thought I had to have that outline perfect before I jumped into the writing, and that actually did not serve me at all. It actually held me back and hindered any progress and any writing. So if you feel like you need outline, which I did, but don't make it so intricate and so complex that you might as well have just made that the first draft. So that's my best advice for that. Moving on. Question number 5, are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I am yet to be published, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to go the traditionally published route or the self-publishing route, but I know no matter what, my books are going to be published. So whatever form that takes, that's the road I'm going to go down. But I do believe I'm going to go ahead and try to query my first book and see where that gets me. And I'm not saying I won't traditionally publish, and I'm not saying I won't self-publish, so it's up in the air. Question number 6 is, what publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house or literary agent? Again, goes back to question 5. I should have read ahead and just answered that here, but I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research yet on publishing houses and agents and whatnot. The main information I have on that is just reading other authors' published acknowledgments of their agent and their publishing house and all that. So I guess I am a real noob when it comes to publishing, so you won't see any videos on publishing on this channel for a hot minute because I don't know much about it at all. Question number 7, what Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? I don't know. If you watch the intro of this video, you would see how confused I am, and any suggestions, just drop those bad boys down below, because I don't know. In a perfect world, I'd just like to talk about whatever I felt like that day, but I think most people don't care and don't want to hear it, and they come to a channel for very specific information and don't want all the fluff. Until they've really gotten to know the person with what they are posting, and then they do want to know more about their personal life and other areas of their life, then I think it's okay to post whatever you want that day. But I'm nowhere near that status, so yeah, I'm so awkward. I'm still getting used to YouTube, you know, hence the Author Newbie Tag. But yeah, you know, when I was on YouTube before, it was over 10 years ago, and it was a very different climate back then. If you watched my very first video introducing myself and what I was here to do, this is much more refreshing than it used to be, at least in the Sims community where I used to post. So thank you for being so kind in the like 5 comments I've received so far. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, as far as posting, what to post here, I don't know. Obviously writing and book related stuff, but I'd really love, like I said, to do writing vlogs, because I would like a visual representation and documentation of my process of writing, and it would be fun, you know, 10 years from now to look back on that and see how far I've come, because especially when you're writing something for a long time and you're just treading water and trudging through it and rewriting and revising and draft, you almost feel at times like you're not getting anywhere. And being able to look back on those videos, I think, would be great to really get to see from a bird's eye view just how far I've come from the beginning to where I am whenever I'm watching it again. So yeah, I'm rambling again. I'm so sorry about that. I used to have a blog called Ramblings of a Redhead, and you know why. Question number 8 was, when did you start writing? Oh boy. This would have been back in the 80s when I learned how to write. Ever since I learned how to read and write, that's all I wanted to do. From the time I was just knee-high to a squid's eye. Squid's eye. Pig's eye. Sorry, I've been watching The Office reruns, and I don't know if any of you know that Easter egg. Can tell me what episode the squid's eye, when Michael Scott says, what is that, a squid's eye? If you know that, you're a true Office fan, so hit me up down below if you know the answer to that one, which episode that was, what season, which episode. Sorry, I am awesome at distracting myself on here. I'm so sorry. Okay, back to the thing. Okay, so when did I start writing? Yeah, knee-high to a squid's eye. I was young, and I had this old typewriter that I got at a thrift store, and the ribbon was not anywhere near full, so you just had the very lightest touch on this paper, and I still have some of those writings somewhere in storage, but they were bad. They were horrific. But my biggest claim to fame for writing was at night. I have a sister who's 2 years younger and then a brother who's 4 years younger than me, and every night for years and years and years we all would sleep in the same room because they wanted to hear the next continuation of the next episode of my story. And it was about a 9 to 10-year-old girl named Sacagawea and her best friend Joy, and she lived in this big crazy house with all these brothers and sisters, and they got into so much trouble. So even though that was never written anywhere, it lives in the fabric of history in mine, my brother and sister's hearts. And it's funny because for years, that's all they, you know, at bedtime, most kids, like my kids, at bedtime, that's time to fight and yell and scream and stay up all night and do other things. But my brother and sister and I, we would just all lay in our own bed, and I'd tell this story, and half the time I'd be like, hey, you guys still awake? Yeah, okay. You guys still awake? Nothing? Okay, I guess that's where we're leaving off, and we're gonna pick it back up tomorrow. So yeah, good memories. My brother and sister are awesome, and yeah, so I guess that's my origin, and I think I started doing that about age 9 or 10, and that's why Sacagawea and her friend Joy were 9 and 10 years old. So that was, yeah, probably my very first story that I can point back to and remember. And I used to do a lot of little story booklets for my grandma, about me and her out shopping, me and her making homemade noodles, her fixing my hair, because she was the only one that could do it right. I had all these crazy curls, and back in the 80s and 90s, you just didn't know how to handle those curls, so you either brushed them out, which was a nightmare, or the other thing was you put lots of gel in it. And back then, people didn't scrunch out the crunch, so it looked like a uncooked top ramen noodle cluster. That was my hair. So yeah, again, tangent. I'm so sorry about that. Moving on. I must be psychic or something, because question number 9 is, what was the first story you ever wrote? So already answered it. Refer back a few minutes, and squid's eyes and all that fun stuff. Good stuff happened right before this, so it's over there somewhere. Go get it. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm just really excited coming off a, Memorial Day weekend. Lots of writing got done. I filmed some pick-a-card readings. I'm just in a good, productive, funny, happy, silly, weirdo mood. So I'm so sorry if you don't like that and you're watching this. You can go ahead and hit the thumbs down and go ahead and click out. And I don't blame you. I really wouldn't. But if not, hit the thumbs up. We're partway there. I think we're rounding out the home stretch here, so keep on holding on. Is that a real song, or did I just make that up? I don't even know. Question number 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? I really hate to admit this. Should I? Well, there's 2 things I really hate to admit. Okay, so go. After college, I was really focused on my photography business and life, and then I had kids, and ta-da. So I went a really long time without writing or reading anything. Like, I'm talking years. And I did read your occasional self-help book and spiritual type book, but as far as fiction goes, at the time I was so driven and just striving to accomplish things that I almost looked at television shows and books and that kind of thing as like frivolous distraction. And although I loved those things, oh, do I love those things, there just wasn't time in my life for them. So I did go a long time without writing and reading. And I did start late on the bandwagon to Twilight. Hides head in shame if you're one of those people that hate Stephenie Meyer and thinks she's the worst writer ever. But although her writing wasn't what I'd consider immaculate or anything, it was the way she told the story and the characters that you just, if you're a Twi-Hard or whatever you want to call that fan following, cult following, whatever, you get it. So she really inspired me to strive to create characters that will stick in your soul for like ever. And yeah, so that is, I'm not ashamed, but I'm sure people are going to be questioning my writing ability and my credibility because I admitted that, but I'm an open book, no pun intended. I do that a lot, I'm weird, but yeah, I'm sorry. And I also really like Kelley Armstrong, the Darkest Power series. I actually only just read that recently and was really kind of blown away by how similar her writing style is to mine and how we tell our stories, because her main character, Chloe, sorry, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but she has supernatural abilities, and then my main character, Jackie, has spiritual gifts that are more based in what I know now after my spiritual awakening and Kundalini awakening to be reality, but there's no way to prove it, so in writing it would be considered paranormal or supernatural. But because the visible light spectrum is something like 1%, there's so much that we cannot see, hear, or experience or feel, but there's so much more to this reality than we've been told, and science is nowhere near tapping into everything that's out there ever, and this universe is one great big ball of amazing mystery. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, so Kelley Armstrong, that's right. So yeah, I did recently read that series. Yeah, I again, just the last 3 to 4 years have been getting back into reading young adult fiction. So I'm reading as much as I can, and I'm loving a lot of authors, and yeah, I think I've touched on enough of those. The Twilight thing, so if you want to go ahead and unsubscribe now because of that, go ahead, whatever, I'm sorry, but it's true. It's the characters. It's the way Stephenie Meyer weaved those characters into the fabric of your soul that got me. Yeah, the storyline was a little, like, if you really step away from your love for this and think about it, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever, but again, it's the characters, so I don't know. If you think I'm a whack or a quack now because of that, I'm sorry, go ahead and unsubscribe. Okay, question number 11. Do you schedule your writing session or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? Both. Especially during like Camp Nano, NaNoWriMo, and then I participated in Jenna Streety and Evie Driver's JanuWriMo. That's when I just write every day, every day, every day, every day. But because I am a busy mom of 2 kids with 2 YouTube channels and this trilogy I'm writing, I have so much going on right now and always pretty much, and summer's coming up, so the kids will be home most of the time all day, so I probably won't write every day, but I like to make it a priority. And I used to be a big night owl before I had kids, but when you have kids, they wake up super early, so if you are a night owl, you pay the consequences the next day. So I've kind of learned to get on their schedule, and by the time they are in bed, I'm ready for bed most nights, so I don't do much night writing anymore, and that used to be when I really tap into that like creative well and just flow and snap out of my haze about 6 a.m. and be like, oh wow, it was just 1 a.m. Where'd the time go? But I can't do that anymore because I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they take a lot of my time and energy. So, and then again with mornings are chaotic because they usually get up before me, so I just write whenever I can. I do usually have about an hour of writing time in the car with my youngest. We go drive to my oldest school and hang out in the pickup line, and I'm on my laptop writing. That is my 1 hour of guaranteed writing time, and I take it as many days as I can get it. So that's that. Question number 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? I use a blend of those, but now that I'm so far into my manuscript, I'm revising / untangling 2 stories from each other. It's mostly just in Scrivener. And before that, when I was planning out the story, I had my handy dandy note card box with all my notes, and those were broken down by character. Just bits of dialogue I knew I wanted to have in there that would occur to me in the shower and that. But that's in my other video if you want to go check that out. I have like 2 videos on here, 3 videos, something like that so far. So easy to find if you want to go learn more about that. I show that off a little bit. And then where do I write in general? Like I said, a big majority of my writing actually happens in the car at the elementary school. But when I'm home and my husband takes the kids out to my in-laws on the weekends a lot of the time, so I can just have hours and hours, blocks of time to write. I love to write in bed, and I know that's like kind of a big no-no because then your mind associates that with work and not sleep, but when I'm sleeping and with all my crystals around and everything, it's like a creative vortex. And yeah, a lot of times I can't sleep in my bed because it's like ideas, whispers in my ear about all these things that could happen in the book and bits of dialogue. And so, I think the little sanctuary I've created for myself in my bedroom is like this vortex of just, it's easy for me to get in a really meditative state and just write and be back in 1993 with these characters, living my best life with them, or worst life, because I am putting their lives through hell, at least 1 or 2 of them. So if you want to check that out, look ahead a year or so and you will be able to do that. But I also do some writing at my dining room table or on the couch or just wherever. when I need to sit down and really focus and actually write, I can't really do that when the kids are around, so it's usually on the weekends when my husband takes them somewhere. As far as if I'm just revising a paragraph to be able to submit to my critique group or something, then I can kind of do that while the kids are running around. It's not as big a deal as if I'm trying to, you know, zone out into a scene and lose myself and write it for the first time. We're almost done. All right, so sorry about this. I'm sure this video is so long and I really do apologize. But if you did make it all the way through, you get a rock star button. Here you go. Pretend that I gave you a button. Pin it here. Wear it all day proudly. You deserve it. Thank you so much. You can tip your waitress on the way out. But tip high because they work hard. Question 13. We're at the end. Okay, sorry. I'm rambling redhead. Okay. What are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of Authortube? And this one is simple. Simple. Okay, 2 things. The friendships, and I've already made a couple of friendships with some other Authortubers. I mean, we're not like homies or nothing, but like there's quite a few of you guys that I'm like, dang, I want to be her friend. I want to know her in real life. She's awesome. And I say she because most of the ones that I've found are female. I don't think I follow any male Authortubers that I can recall off the top of my head. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be sexist or exclusive in any way. I just don't have any on my subscription list right now. But if you're out there, I may find you, and you will be a friend of mine too, hopefully one day. So make this happen. But no. The friendships and the community vibe, just having a group of like-minded people to talk to that understand where you're coming from, that get the writer life, is everything to me. Like, I don't have a lot of, or any writer friends in real life, IRL, that I can talk to about any of this, and I think my husband's eyes have glazed over one too many times talking about my characters. No, don't get me wrong, he is the most supportive person in my life, him and my mom, but I think he does it more out of because he loves me. I can go on for hours about my story, my characters, and oh, and I'm gonna have this happen and this happen. He says this, she says this. Can you believe he's the one? Oh my gosh. He's like, oh yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. I feel bad. I really do. He tries so hard to be, but he is a big cheerleader for me in other ways, so it totally makes up for it. And I can now use Authortube as my validation, cheerleaders, whatever you want to call it, just to feel that sense of camaraderie and unity and community. It's awesome so far, and I love participating and attending other people's live writing streams. Hey, that might be something I could do. Write-ins. I know everybody loves that. Me and that one other person that would attend would have a blast. So if you are that person, hey, you want to do this thing? Some live write-ins? What days work for you? I don't know. That might be fun. But yeah, I love attending other people's write-ins, and even Instagram. I love, that's my other hangout, my other haunt here online for my Authortube stuff. I've really strayed away from Facebook over the last 2 to 3 months because it's just very toxic over there for me, and I just don't get good vibes over there anymore. So this is where it's at. Instagram's where it's at. High vibe community. Yeah, I think I need to wrap this up. I'm so sorry. This is probably like the longest video ever. And if, again, here's your button if you stuck it out with me for this whole time. Thank you again so much for watching, and yeah, I'm still a work in progress as far as knowing what it is I want to do here, but I want to be here. I want to participate. If you have any cool video ideas for writing related stuff, go ahead and drop those below, what you'd like to see from me. If you think it would be weird if I vlogged when no one probably cares or knows who I am, yeah, just let me know below. I love getting comments, and I don't really get very many, so even if you just want to do a little heart or a thumbs up, just say, hey, what's up? That's awesome, because I feel a lot of times like I'm talking to thin air, and I think a lot of new Authortubers feel that way. it just goes with the territory, and it won't be like that forever, but yeah, I hope to get this ball rolling and break past that 45 subscriber mark here soon. So, and I wanted to thank all 45 of you who did subscribe, because you really took a chance on this crazy redhead to put your faith in me that I would be delivering the content that you would want to see. So if you have subscribed already, thank you so much for that. And I do apologize for being so long-winded. So maybe in the future, just go ahead and click that 1.5 speed these things up. I don't know. I try, like my 5 writing tips to get started writing that book video. I mean, that thing was like under 3 minutes. So I can be short-winded with a lot of editing. Don't give me that. Just kidding. All right. I'm going to stop being a weirdo. I am literally in my house alone with my 2 dogs, and I'm sure if anybody dropped in on me right now, they'd be like, what a weirdo. But your vibe attracts your tribe. All right, guys, I am going to sign out, and I hope that you subscribe, like, comment. Comment for sure. I just want some activity and engagement around here. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are awesome, and I hope to have another video out soon once I figure out what the heck I'm doing here. Bye! Get in, loser. Get in, subscribe. But you're not a loser, you're awesome. This guy's a loser.